good afternoon to one and all present for this webinar. On behalf of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC of Nirmala Institute of Education, we welcome you all to this webinar on Google Apps for School Education. Before we begin, I request our principal, Dr. Delia Antau, to formally welcome the participants.
Good afternoon, teachers, and welcome to this webinar on Google Apps and the use of Google Apps in school education. All of us at some time or the other must have experienced difficulties in online teaching, either because of poor connectivity or maybe because of our inadequate knowledge in the use of these apps. And I think today there couldn't have been a better resource person than Ms. Pratiksha Shirodkar, the young, dynamic, enthusiastic, and brilliant assistant professor in our college. In fact, when we were asked to shift to or switch on to online teaching, I think she's one of the few people who was unperturbed. And that is because even before the world knew what was COVID-19, she was already using these apps with great efficiency. And so I think she's the best person to guide you in these 2 days. And so I wish you a very enriching time. And I thank Ms. Shirodkar for having offered her services to share her knowledge and expertise with us. So all the very best, teachers, and thank you very much, Ms. Shirodkar. Over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Antau, for your welcome address. Our resource person for today's webinar is Ms. Pratiksha Chandrakant Shirodkar. She works as an assistant professor at Nirmala Institute of Education and teaches methodology of science since 2017. She is a master's in zoology from Goa University. She is a first ranker and gold medalist in zoology at the MSc examination at Goa University. She is also a master's in education and first ranker and gold medalist in masters from the Central University of Kerala. She works at this institute. She is a guide for MA in education for IGNOU and also is appointed as a IGNOU counselor for IGNOU Study Center, Khandola College. She is the resource person for NIOS DLED training for the untrained in-service teachers. She is also a guest lecturer for DLED course at Nirmala Institute of Education. She is pursuing her PhD at present from BITS Pilani, Goa campus. She has presented more than 10 research papers in national as well as international conference. With this brief introduction, I welcome Ms. Pratiksha Shirodkar for this today's webinar. Over to you, Ms. Pratiksha Shirodkar. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome all of you to this two-day national webinar on Google Apps for school education. Here we'll be dealing with various apps like Google Classroom, Google Forms, and Google Sites, wherein we'll discuss how these apps can be used in order to manage the work that we do as teachers, and otherwise, even as a student, if you're studying somewhere, you can also make use of this for your need. Okay, so let us begin. I'll start the screen share in a minute. I hope all are able to see the screen. Okay. So this webinar is Google Apps for School Education. So today, as I already said, we'll be discussing about three apps during these 2 days. The first one is Google Classroom, the second one is Google Forms, and the third one is Google Sites, as I already said. So today, let us begin with Google Classroom, which is one of the apps, Google Apps, which all of us can use and make best use of it in order to manage our work. Okay, so first thing that we'll see in this particular app is how to create and join a class, how to add students and collaborators in your classroom, how to create topics, then how to share material with the students, then how to schedule assignments, and the final one is grading. And after all this, we'll be having a question and answer session wherein you all can clear your doubts if you all have any. Okay, so I'll be stopping the screen share and I'll move to the Chrome tab in order to see how to create and join a class in Google Classroom. Is the Chrome tab visible? Okay. Now, first thing is you need to know, in order to have a Google Classroom or in order to use any of the apps of Google, first thing is that you need to have your Gmail account or a Google account. Okay, if you do not have that Google account, you cannot have an access to any of the apps which Google provides us. So it's important that all of you all create one Gmail account or a Google account in order to use this app. So if you have one, very good, you can make use of that itself. Now, the first thing that I said we would discuss today is how to create and join a class. Now, in order to create and join a class, as I said, first requirement is having a Gmail account. So the moment you have a Gmail account, you need to open your Gmail account and you'll see a screen like this. Okay, wherein you can see that there are various aspects or factors associated with Gmail, And then in addition to that, here there are 9 dots. To the right of the screen, top right corner, you can see these 9 dots. So you can click on those dots, and the moment you click on it, you will see various apps. So here is a place wherein you will get all the apps which the Google has kept for us to use. You can also click on more from Google so that you will get the other apps apart from the ones which are being displayed here. So let us find where exactly is this Google Classroom. So if we scroll down in this, you will see an icon like this. Okay, this is an icon for Google Classroom. So we can click on that icon. So once you click on that icon, you will see a screen like this, wherein you will have various things which are displayed here, like the title, the name of the app, that is Google Classroom, and 3 horizontal lines here, so which is called main menu. And to the right, in the right corner, you will see something called a plus sign, and again the 9 vertical dots and the icon of your Gmail account. If you have any profile picture, it will be displayed here. If not, a letter like this. So first thing is to know how to join and or create a how to join or how to create a class. So let us see how we can go about it. The first thing is you need to go here to this plus sign. So the moment you click on this plus sign, you will get 2 options. Here it says you can join or create a class using this particular icon. So you can just click on this icon. The moment you click, you will get 2 options in the drop down menu: join class, create class. Now at the moment we are interested in learning how to create a classroom for our students, isn't it? So let us go ahead and see how to create a class by clicking on the second option in the drop down menu. So the moment, since you are using it for the first time, you will have a pop-up message like this, wherein there will be some conditions and terms. So you need to just click on I have read and understood the above notice, and I'm not using this classroom at school with students. So this is just an addition because they do not allow us to use it at a school with students. Okay, so we can just continue. And the moment we continue, we'll get another pop-up icon which is called create class. So since we clicked on and we are interested in creating a class, we need to click on create class. And the moment we click on create class, we'll see again 4 sections like class name, which is a required field, then section, then subject, room. Okay. So now let us give class name to this particular class. So maybe I can call it demo 1. Or you can give any name to your class, or I can just give a name of a webinar, that is Google Apps for School Education. Okay, then section. Section is nothing but maybe if you have your classes like divisions of your classes, 5th A, B, C, D, the divisions of the classes, you can mention that division. You can choose not to write anything there as well, but it's important that if you fill it in the proper details, it will be helpful for you to locate your class when you have many in your Google Classroom. So maybe I can put a section as maybe day 1. And the third field is the subject field. So here I can put the subject as Google Classroom, since we are dealing today with Google Classroom. And room we can put, say suppose if you have any room allotted in your school, like with this particular class and sits in which room. So maybe I can just, for instance, just say room number 1. Okay, so you need to fill in all these details like class name, section, subject, room, and then you can click on this particular option here, which is create. And the moment you click create, it will take few moments in order to create a class. So you need to wait till then. Okay. So now a class is created for us, okay? And since if you are using the Google Classroom, if you do not have any Google account of yours or Google Classroom account, you will have several pop-up messages which will tell you which part of the Google Classroom will help you do what. So in that case, you just need to click on Got It, so that you can proceed further with other aspects of your Google Classroom. Now, see here, we can observe many things on this particular screen. Okay, so here we can see that there is something called Demo 1 Google Apps for School Education. This was the title, or this is the class name that we gave. Day 1 is nothing but the section, isn't it? This is a section name. And then you can see the 3 horizontal lines here, which is nothing but the main menu. Then to the right, you can see again 3 icons. The first one is a setting icon, which this particular icon you can see even on your phone, isn't it? So this is for settings. Then there are again 9 dots, which are nothing but the dots which will take you to all the Google apps which the Google has provided, and the email with which you have logged in for this particular class. Apart from that, here if you see, there are 4 terms which are mentioned. Okay, the first one is stream, the second one is classwork, third one is people, fourth one is grades. And you can see something like this, wherein you have the name of the class, okay, and the section name, and there's something called class code, and many other things below that. Okay, so just get comfortable with the view of this particular page or view of this particular class. Now let us see how to add students or collaborators, which is a second aspect of this particular second topic that I have to cover in this particular section of Google Classroom, wherein first thing what we discussed just now was how to create a class, and we saw what are the ways by which we can create a class. Okay, now let us see how to add students and collaborators. Now, as we already discussed, you can see here 4 tabs like stream, classwork, people, and grades. So in order to add students and collaborators, okay, you need to click on the People's tab. Okay, the moment you click on the People tab, you will see an interface wherein you can see 2 options like teachers and students, and an icon with a person and a plus sign, which is common for both the sections, that is teachers and students, and rest is all same. Fine. Now, in teachers section, you can see my name here, that is Pratiksha Shirodkar. So in order to add another teacher, which is the term which is used in Google Classroom, that is a collaborator or collaborators, in order to add a collaborator, you just need to click on this particular icon. So if you move the cursor to this, it will show that invite teachers, something like invite teachers. If you want to add other teacher to your class, if you are taking any subject wherein you are sharing the subject with another teacher, you can choose to invite that particular teacher to your class, so that you both can manage the students and the work that you'll be giving in the future for assessing them. So we can just click on invite teachers, and let us see how we can go about adding the collaborator or adding the teacher. Now the moment you click on that particular invite teacher option, you will see something like this particular pop-up wherein they'll ask you to type a name or email. So you can type a name, the name of the teacher, or an email ID of the teacher, so that a mail will be sent to that respective teacher, and the teacher will join by clicking on the link which will be sent on his or her email ID, and they'll be a part of your class as a collaborator. So for example, let me just type a mail ID of mine. Okay, which is pratiksha2017@gmail.com. So I'm adding another account of mine to this particular class as a collaborator. So the moment you type the email ID, it will show like this, and then you can click on this particular option which is given here, that is invite. Okay, and if you observe on this particular tab, you can see a message here which reads, teachers you add can do everything you can. Okay, so whatever that you can do as creator of a class, everything, all the rights are given to them, except deleting the class. So they don't have the rights to delete the class, but apart from that, all the rights are with them. Okay, like giving an assignment, adding students, and all of that. The only thing that they cannot do is deleting the class. So since I have added another teacher. Okay, so let me just click on invite and let's see what happens. So you can click on invite and wait for a moment. Okay, so the moment this mail is sent, you will see something like this here. Just because I have not accepted this particular invite, it is not showing in a dark color, but here you can see something in light, which mentions my other email ID, and in bracket you can see something called invited. Okay. Now, next to that are these three vertical dots. When you click on that, you can see two options, that is email and remove. So you can choose to use any one of these. Say suppose you have invited any teacher who is not supposed to be a part of the class, and by mistake you have added the email ID of the teacher. You can choose to remove this particular teacher from the class by clicking on remove. So this is how you can add teachers to your Google Classroom or collaborators if you are teaching any subject in collaboration with some other teacher. Now, the important part of Google Classroom is to understand how to add students to the classroom, which is very important, without which this classroom would not have any significance. So let us see how to add students to the class. The same procedure we have to follow, which we did while adding teachers. So in order to do that, in order to add students, we can again click on this particular icon, okay, which says invite students. The moment you click on it, you will see a tab called invite students, which will have again two sections. The first section will have an invite link, okay, which is nothing but an invitation or a link invitation to join the Google Classroom or the class that you have created. And the second section is wherein you have to type a name or an email. So you need to enter the name of the students or the email ID of the students to whom you would like to send this particular invite. Okay, or say suppose if you have 30 students in the classroom, you will be having their email ID. So you just need to copy those email IDs and paste it here and click on invite. So for instance, in order to just as an example, let me add my email ID. So I'm joining using some other mail ID as a student. Okay, I've typed this mail ID of mine and I'm sending an invite. So here you can see that an invite is being sent to this particular mail ID, that is pratikshashirolkar21@gmail.com. Since I have not accepted the invite, it is showing as invited. Okay, so the moment I accept the request, it will be active. So in order to demonstrate that, let me go to the email ID and accept the request which is sent by my other account. Okay, it will take a moment. So till then, we can see another aspect. Till I accept the request, is taking a bit. Yes, it's taking some time. Okay. So till I do that, we can see another aspect or another third topic that we have to cover in this particular session is how to create topics. Now, before moving on to the third topic, there is another way by which you can add students to your classroom. Okay, that way is by going to the stream tab. So in order to invite students, apart from the way that we just discussed, wherein we have to go to people tab and invite students using their mail, you can also choose to invite your students by giving them a class code. Okay, now where you will find this class code? So you'll find this class code here in the stream tab, which is the first tab of your Google Classroom. So if you see this particular section wherein you have a name of your class, the section of your class, and something called class code. So each class will have a unique class code which you can choose to display like this. So this is a class code for this particular class, and these are the letters. Okay, so you can choose to copy this invite by clicking on this particular icon, and you can share it to them using their mail IDs. Okay, if not, if you have any WhatsApp group of any other means by which they can join this class, you can just copy this invite and send them this particular um, class code so that they can join the classroom. Now, another aspect which is associated with this class code is uh, that this particular class code, as I already said, it is a unique class code. So there are some cases wherein the students are found sending this particular class code to those who are not registered students of any school, and just because they have the class code, they are able to join this particular class, wherein they get all the materials shared by the teacher and other aspects which is shared by the teachers to the with the students. So in order to avoid that, you can choose to change this class code once all the students have joined the class, so that even if the students who are a part of your class share this particular class code with their friends, they will not be able to join your class. Okay, so we'll see about it maybe as we discuss further. Okay, so we have seen till now what are the ways by which we can create and join, create a class. We'll see how to join a class sometime later. We have also seen how to add teachers. Teachers are nothing but the collaborators, and we have also seen how to add students. We have seen which are the two ways by which we can add students. The first one is by going to the People's tab and adding their names or email addresses and sending them an invite. And the second way is by using the class code, which you can send them using their WhatsApp groups or using their email ID. Okay, and in order for a student to join your class, which is again one of the very important thing, that your students also should know how to join your Google Classroom. So for that, you need to give them a very simple instruction that they need to download an app called Google Classroom from their Play Store or Google Play Store, and they have to join a class. The process of joining a class is similar to the one which we followed while creating a class. So let us see how your students can join your class. So in order to do that, let us go to our main page. Okay, so here you can see our class, which is shown here like this. So now we are interested in understanding how the students can join a class. So the moment they download this particular app called Google Classroom, they will see the first screen like this. It will not have this class, okay, because this is the demo class, so you can see it here, but the students won't be able to see this class. Okay, so what they need to do, they need to go to this particular icon, that is a plus sign here, and they need to click on join class. Earlier, while creating this particular class, they clicked on create class, but as students they need to click on join class. So the moment we click on join class, okay, it will show a screen like this, wherein it will show currently as what you are signed in into Google. Okay, and then it will ask you to enter the class code that is shared by your teacher. Okay, so it is saying that ask your teacher for the class code and then enter it here. So you can enter the class code which is sent by the teacher to you, and you can choose to join the given class. So joining a class is very simple, and the reason for me to explain how to join a class is that so that you can tell your students how to join your class. It is very important that all of us know what kind of a view the students will have when they will join the class. We'll see both of this maybe in the upcoming session. So now let us see. Now let us focus on the third topic, that is how to create topics. So before moving on to that, I just wanted to confirm whether till here is it clear to everybody? Has everyone understood how to create and join a class and how to add students and collaborators? Okay, thank you. So that we can now go ahead and focus on the third aspect of this particular topic, that is how to create topics in Google Classroom. So let us go to our class. So here we have come to our class, that is demo 1 for Google Apps for School Education. So here we need to see how to create topics. Now in order to create topics, we need to go to the other tab, that is classwork. So let us get familiar with other aspects related to Google Classroom. So here we have seen a few of these things, that we have seen that in a teacher's view you will have 4 sections like stream, classwork, people and grades. Okay, so we have seen what are the, let us see what are the things that you can see here in the stream tab. So the first thing is the name of the classroom, the section and the class code, and then to the right here you can see these 2 things, that is select theme and upload photo. So you can choose to select the theme. So let us see what happens when we click on select theme option. So the moment you click on select theme option, you will get various types of themes here under several sections: general, English and history, math and science, arts, sports and others. So if you are a science teacher or an art teacher, you can choose to select any one from the given sections. Okay, so let me choose this one. So I've chosen this one. So in order to choose a theme, you can choose to go in any one of the tabs given above, and you can scroll down and see which are the themes available. And if you like any one of them, you can just click on that. So the moment you click on that, this particular button will get active, that is select class theme. So let us just see what happens if you don't select any theme. So here you can see that the select class theme option is not active. So in order for this particular option to get active, you need to select on any one of the themes which are displayed there. So I have selected this particular theme. So let me confirm by clicking on select class theme. So you can see that this theme has changed to the one which we just selected. Okay. Then apart from that, you can also choose to upload a photo. Okay. Let us see what happens if you don't want any theme which is already there as default. And if you want to add any particular photo, say suppose a photo of your institution, you can choose to do that by clicking on upload photo. So click on upload photo. The moment you click on upload photo, this particular tab will be open, which will allow you to select any photo from your computer. So the moment you click on this, it will take you to the storage of your computer, wherein you will see if you have any photos downloaded, and if you have any pictures of your college or your school, you can choose any one of them and can select it as your class theme. Okay, and if you're not interested in this particular way of adding a photo, you can choose any theme which is already given here in the 6 tabs, okay, which is general, English and history, math, science, arts, sports and other. Okay, so we have chosen the theme that we liked. So now let us go to the other things like other features of this particular Google Classroom, and let us see how we can go about using it. So below this particular theme is something like this, which says share something with your class. Now what is this? This is very much similar to your Facebook page or Facebook news feed. So whatever that you type here will be shown, or it will be displayed. Okay, just say whatever that you type here will be displayed in the stream tab. So let's see here. Say suppose you have started your class and you want to say hello to everyone. You can say hello everyone. And if you wish to welcome them, you can do that as well. Welcome to this class. And after you type whatever that you wish to in this particular space, which allows you to share this with your class, Okay, we just below this green color line, okay, you see various options here like add, cancel and post. Okay, this is very easy to understand that if you click on post, this will get posted on this on this particular classroom, isn't it, which will be available for all the students who are a part of your class. Okay, and just next to this post is some drop down button. Okay, if you click on that, there are again three options which are given, that is post, schedule and save draft. Okay, you can choose to post this particular message right now. In order to post it right now, you can choose to click on post. If you want to schedule it on some other day or at some other time of the day, you can choose that as well. Or if you wish to make some changes in the draft which you just type, you can choose to save the draft as well. So if I click on post, okay, it will get posted on the stream tab and it will look like this. This is the name of the teacher, okay? And hello everyone, welcome to this class, okay? So if you have to schedule anything, so let us repeat the same thing. Hello. Welcome to this webinar. Okay, if I have to welcome the participants of this webinar who have joined this particular class, I can choose to say hello, welcome to this webinar. And say suppose my webinar is tomorrow and I want to post this particular message in the classroom tomorrow. So I can choose to schedule the class, schedule this particular message by clicking on schedule. So it will ask me the announcement dates. So maybe I can choose to do it tomorrow, that is September 9. And if you click on this particular arrow, you can choose any of the dates. If I say suppose my webinar is on 15th of September, I can choose that. And I can also choose the timing. Maybe I want to send this at 11 a.m. So you can change the time, whichever time you wish to send this message. And you can click on schedule. Okay, so here since we have scheduled the class, here is a pop-up message which says scheduled for September 15 for 11 a.m. Since we have scheduled it, you cannot see that particular message on this particular feed or this particular tab, that is stream tab. Okay, instead you will see an announcement like this, saved announcement 1. You can click on this particular arrow down, yes, this arrow, and you can see that whatever message that you have saved in order to send it sometime later, you can choose to see it here, and you can also choose to delete this message by clicking on this particular icon if you don't wish to send that. Okay, so this is how we can use this particular tab of share something with your class, which is similar to the newsfeed tab or post. When you post something or when you write anything on the Facebook, it is similar to that. Okay, now next to this particular section of the first tab, that is stream, is upcoming. So if this will be active the moment we add something to this particular class, since we do not have anything, it is saying that no work due soon. So if you have any assignments that you have given here using this platform, that all the assignments will be shown here in this upcoming tab. Okay, now let us go ahead. And now let us see how to create topics. So before that, we need to go to the next tab of Google Classroom, that is Classwork. So this is a second tab of Google Classroom. The first one is Stream, wherein you have the name, and it is like a first page of your Google Classroom wherein you can share something with your students and other details would be mentioned. So whatever that you post in the class will be seen here in the Stream tab. And the next tab is the Classwork tab. Okay, this Classwork tab is a very important, and it is the main tab of Google Classroom, which will allow you to create topics, which will allow you to create questions, it will allow you to assign work to your class. The same thing is mentioned here. It helps you to assign work to your class. It helps you to create assignments and questions. It also helps you to create topics which will help you organize your classwork into modules or units. and it can also help you to order the work the way you want your students to see it. Okay, so let us see how we can go about creating topics. So let us first understand this interface. So the first thing you need to know that in order to create anything, you have an icon here that is a plus sign and a create option. Okay, we will not go into much detail of that for now. Now next to that is Google Calendar option and class drive folder. So this particular tab of Google Classroom gives you an access to Google Calendar directly. You can choose to click the Google Calendar in order to schedule or use any of the features of Google Calendar, and you can also access your Google Drive folder by clicking on this particular icon. Let us not discuss this now. Okay, more important for us now is to understand how to create a topic. So let us click on this create option here. So create option, the moment you click on create option, you will see various options in the drop down menu, which are assignment, then quiz assignment, question, material, and reuse post. And at the end, you can see something called topic. Okay, so now let us see how to create topics. The other aspects related to Google Classroom, we will see sometime later. So here, let us see this particular thing, topic. We can discuss about all these things sometime later. So let us see how to create topics. So we need to go to create option and click on topic. So the moment we click on topic, we get a pop-up message like add topic, wherein we need to add a topic name. Okay, so we can type a topic name like, say, suppose, okay, let us consider, take this example, or as teachers, we have a syllabus for every subject, and the syllabus is divided into several units, isn't it? So you can choose to categorize this particular classwork into different sections or different units. You can choose to give a name of the unit, okay, or you can also choose to write only the unit number. So here I am writing unit 1. Okay, so the moment I write the name, or you can also write the name of the unit as well, or maybe like life processes, just for example. Okay, so let me add. So in order to add this particular topic, I have to click on add. So the moment I click on add, I will see that particular topic shown here in the classwork tab, that is life processes, that is unit 1. Okay, now this is the first topic that we just created. So students, here you can see the message that students can only see topics with published post. Okay, so in order to create one more topic, we need to follow the same procedure, that we need to go to create option, click on create and go to topic. And maybe we can type unit 2. We can say respiration. Just as an example, I'm taking any of the terms randomly which are coming to my mind. So unit 2 maybe respiration. So I'm following the same steps. Okay, so I can see here second unit. Now I want to add one more. That is, we'll pick an example of 4 units so that it will be easier for us to understand the related features. So unit 3, That is, maybe we can take an example of photosynthesis, particular topic. So we can wait till the topic is added. We can wait for some time. So there's an error, network error. So I think it's taking some time to add the topic. Is the screen visible? Is the screen visible now? Okay, so we continue due to technical errors. I think I was unable to. Okay, fine. Is the screen visible, all of you? Because some of the participants are complaining that they cannot see the screen. Okay, okay, thank you. So I'll continue. Okay, so here we were discussing that how to add a topic to Google Classroom. So we added 3 units. So let us 3 units. So let us add a 4th unit by clicking on create and then going for topic, and we can click on. We can just write unit 4, and we can give any. We can give a name of the unit for that. Okay, let's see. Habitat. Okay. So let me add this particular unit. So now here you can see that you can see all the 4 units that we just added. But one thing that we cannot that we can see here is the units are not properly arranged. They are not properly organized. So that the first unit that we added in Google Classroom has come down, and the unit that we added last has come on top. So what are the ways by which we can organize this particular thing? The way by which we can organize it is by clicking on the 3 vertical dots which are here, okay, which will allow you to move up or down the given particular topic. So we can say that, say suppose if you want to move down this particular unit number 4, so we can click on this 3 vertical dots here, and we can click on move down, so that unit 4 has come down. Okay, and we still, if you want to move this down, you can again click on move down, and like this you can do it for till it is arranged properly in a chronological order. Okay, and so here is it. This is it. Okay, so we can see that unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and unit 4. All these 4 units are arranged properly. So this is how we can arrange all the units in order, in chronological order. So we have life processes, respiration, photosynthesis, and habitats, these 4 units. So likewise, you can create n number of units or n number of topics depending on the sections or the parts of your syllabus, and these topics will basically help you segregate the content which is a part of your syllabus. Now, let us see how we can go about adding material or sharing material with the students, which is the 4th part of our today's discussion, that of Google Classroom, wherein we have to see how as teachers we can share material with the students. So far we have seen how to create or join a class. We have seen how to add students and collaborators. We have also seen how to create topics. Okay, and if you can see here, the topics, all the topics are mentioned here. That is Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 4. So you can choose to select any one of these units by clicking on this. So if you click on any one of these units, you will see it here. And since we have not added any assignments or neither any task in this particular unit, you cannot see anything here. So you can click here and choose to see what is being shared with the students under each section. If you click on all topics, you will see all the topics being displayed here. So let us see how to share material with the students, which is the 4th item that we are supposed to cover up. So for that, we again need to go to this particular icon called Create. So the moment we click on Create, we will see again various options like assignment, quiz assignment, questions, material, reuse post. We have seen how this topic item can be used in order to create topics. So let us see how we can, what kind of an assignment or what kind of work we can share, or what material, how we can share the material with our students. So let us see the first option here in this Create tab, that is an assignment option. So the moment we click on assignment option, you will see a screen like this, okay, wherein as I already said, when any pop-up message comes like this, it comes because you're using it for the first time. Okay, so you need to just click on got it and then proceed. So here, what we did now, we clicked on create and we again clicked on the assignment, and we could see this particular screen. So here you have various options available, like you are supposed to add a title, and you can also add instruction. This title is a required option, without which you'll not be able to assign any topic. Okay, and the second field here is an instruction, which is optional. It is okay if you do not have any instructions, you can just title your assignment and share it with your students. And just below that, you can see again these 2 options, that is add and create. So these things we'll see as we move ahead. Okay, these are the 2 icons for these 2 particular fields. So now, let us see, say suppose if I want to give them an assignment on photosynthesis. What I'm doing here is I am typing the title of the assignment. Say suppose the photosynthesis. Okay, let's stick to this particular topic, photosynthesis, and I want to give them some instructions like the last date of submission is so and so. Okay, and what are the requirements, what are the things that are required in this particular assignment, like I want the font size, if it is a typed assignment. Okay, I want the font size to be 12. Okay, I want the font to be Times New Roman. Then some other like line spacing. I want line spacing to be 1.5. Okay, if any details or any other instructions that you have in association with the assignment that you would like to share with the students, you can choose to elaborate it here in this instructions tab. Okay, now Just below that, you can see something, an attachment option like this here and an add term. You can just click on that. Let us see what comes if you click on add. So here when you click on add, you see 4 options here, that is Google Drive, link, file and YouTube. So you can choose, if you click on Google Drive, you can share any of the items which are saved on your Google Drive, and if you wish to share with your students. Say suppose if you have any notes or if you have any reference material associated with that particular assignment in your Google Drive, you can choose to click on this particular option, which will take you to the Google Drive of your given Gmail account, and you can choose to upload any material that you have in the Google Drive associated with that topic by clicking on that particular option. So when you click on Google Drive, you will again have various options like recent, upload, my drive and start. So you can, if you choose to go to my drive, you will see various options here. Since I do not have anything added to the Google Drive, you cannot see any material here, but if you have already added, you can choose to share it with the students using this particular option, that is Google Drive. Second option is link. So this link option will help you share any link if you have like a YouTube link with the students. So you can just click on this link option. So the moment you click on link option, you will get a tab called add link. So you can click on add link, and again a small section you can see, which is a link wherein you can just again, wherein you can copy and paste the link. You can just copy any link from YouTube. Now I'm able to see that screen. So it went by anyone. I'm trying to find any video associated with this particular topic on YouTube. Okay, so I got one link, so I've copied the link. I've come back to the tab. So what I've done here is I've just gone to add and I clicked on link. Okay, and now here let me paste the link which I just copied from YouTube. Okay, the moment I paste a link here, you will see that this option of add link will be active. So I can just go and click on that add link. So the moment I click on add link, okay, that video which I selected from YouTube will be visible here, which is on photosynthesis, and such links associated with the work or the assignment that you have given to the students, you can choose to send to them by clicking on this add link option. Okay. Now, in addition to that, in addition to Google Drive and link, there is also an option of file. You can choose to click on file, which will allow you to upload any file in your drive. Okay, so if there is anything important in your drive or in your system, you can choose to upload that using this particular file option in the add section. And you can also choose to add a video directly from YouTube. Okay, so if you click on this particular icon, it will it will take you to the YouTube search engine, and it will help you to, it will provide you with a search tab wherein you can type um, anything that you wish to share with the students related to the topic. So suppose I've typed photosynthesis. So the video which I shared was this. So if I want to share this video of photosynthesis, which is a crash course in biology lecture 8, so I can just click on that. You notice here, if I don't click on any of the video, this particular add option is not active. Since I have selected the video here, so let me just demonstrate it once more. Since I have, let me try with respiration. See, I have not selected any video, so this particular add option is not active. So the moment I select any video from the search results, I will have to, then only this add option will be active. So I selected the first one, and this add option, you can see this is active here. So I can just click on add. Okay, so this is another way by which you can share YouTube link. You can choose to share it by going for link option, or you can also do it by clicking on YouTube option directly. Okay, so this is how you can make use of this particular interface of assignment. And now to the right of this particular interface of create assignment, you can see various options here like for, points, due, topic, and rubric. Okay, this for option is this is not active. The reason being we have only one class in our Google Classroom, isn't it? So if you have 5 or 6 classes, all the classes will be available here, like demo 1, say suppose standard 5th, standard 6th, standard 8th, 7th, like that. If you have created such classes in the Google Classroom account, all these classes will be available in the for option here. And here you can see all students. Since I do not have many students, no student actually, because I have not accepted the invite which was sent in the beginning. So if you have many students, here is an option which can help you choose to which students you would like to assign this particular work. Okay, so if you want to send it for to all the students, you can choose all the students option, or if you want to send it to only some of them, you can also select the names of the students to whom you would like to send that particular assignment. That is also possible. Now next to that is a points option. So here it helps you to give points, or it can also help you to assign it as an ungraded work. Okay, that is also possible for you to do. So let us click on ungraded. So the moment you click on ungraded, it will show as ungraded, but I want to assign this work to the students. And is the screen visible? Visible? Hello everyone, am I audible? Am I audible now? Okay, there was a network error, so I was left from the meeting. Okay, so I'll be presenting the screen once again. So please let me know if it is visible. Is the screen visible now? Okay, so let me go ahead. So we were discussing about how to grade an assignment. So we just said that we can choose to grade the assignment by, see, we have lost all the work that we just did because we did not assign and it is a network error. So let me just type it all over again, and we can just say that I have given certain instructions to them about other things like about the font, okay, then the font size, then maybe line spacing as we just discussed, and I have added few videos associated with the topic. Okay, I'm repeating this because it will be easier for all of us to understand it better. Okay, so I want to add some videos associated with photosynthesis. So I've clicked on that and I've added videos. You can choose to add as many videos as you wish to. Okay, so here it is. So we can, so we were discussing about how we can give points. So say suppose the assignment which I have just assigned to the students is of 10 marks. So let me just say, or 15 marks. So I want to give 15 marks to this particular assignment. So I've chosen in point section number 15. Okay, or you can also choose to keep the assignment as ungraded. Okay, then there's something called due, which says wherein you can choose the date or the last date on which you would expect the students to submit the assignment. So say suppose I've given the assignment on 9th on 8th of the September. So I want the students to return the assignment by 23rd of September 2020. You can also choose to select the time. Okay, you can see that they need to give the assignment by 11:59 p.m. You can also see that before 5 p.m. they are supposed to submit the assignment. Okay, so you can choose the due date as well. That is the last date as well. And another important thing here, which is again associated with the topic creation or how the topics that we just created. So here is a topic. So this particular assignment that we have just given or assigned belongs to which topic of your syllabus. So you can just select here. So you can see all the topics that we created in the beginning, that is Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3 and Unit 4. So you can just say suppose this is related to photosynthesis, this belongs to Unit number 3. So I am clicking on Unit number 3. So particular assignment is associated to topic, that is Unit 3. Okay, and just below that there is something called rubric. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar to this term, but rubric helps you understand or get all the points. Okay, I request Runal Miss to please put off her audio. Runal ma'am, please, yes, thank you. Okay, so we were discussing about what is rubric. Rubric basically will help you assign marks as per the criteria that you set for your assignment in order to assess the students. So let us see how we can use or make use of this rubric in Google Classroom. And this is an addition. This is recently added to this particular app. So let us see how we can go about it. For that, we can just click on this rubric and plus sign here. So the moment we click on that, you will see 3 options in the drop-down menu. The first one is create rubric. Second one is reuse rubric. Now, when we can use the second option is when you have already created one for some other assignment, but since we are using this for the first time, we need to create a rubric. Or you can also choose to import it from the sheets if you have created already. So let us see how to create a rubric in this case. So for that, we need to click on rubric. So create rubric option. So the moment you click on create rubric option, you will see rubrics and photosynthesis option here. So here the topic of the assignment name, basically the title of the assignment. So here it reads, add the criteria you will use to evaluate students' work as well as any performance levels or descriptions you want to include and students will receive a copy of this rubric with their assignment. So this is very clear and self-explanatory that whatever criteria that you add in this particular rubric will be sent to the students. A copy of it will be sent to the students, so they know which are the criterions on which you will be assessing this particular assignment. So how we can go about adding these criteria is by there are 4 options. So this is the first criteria that we have to add. So suppose for this assignment, the first criteria that I choose to use is neatness. Okay, and you can describe the criteria if you wish to. It is not a required field, but criterion title is required. You can choose that. You can choose to have what is the definition of neatness. You can choose to type anything, whatever that you wish to. Okay, let me just keep it simple. I've just typed dots in order to save time. Okay, now you can assign points for this particular criterion. Maybe I want to give 5 points to this particular criterion. And now below that there is a level. Now in each criterion there are different levels that you can set. Say suppose I don't know how many of you all have heard of rubric and their levels, but I'm sure at least half of you all must be knowing about it. So we can say that it is an excellent work. If it is excellent is the first level. So we can decide what is an excellent. It's very neat and legible. The assignment is very neat and legible. We can give 5 points. Okay. Now we can choose go to another level, which is if it is good. Okay, we can title it as good, and we can type in what is good. It is like neat and legible. Okay, this is our description for this, and we can choose to give 3 points for this particular level. And if you want to add one more, we can choose to do that by let me just delete this and create a level here. So maybe for 1 mark, let me title the level as satisfactory. Okay, for this is not so neat. Okay, I hope you all are understanding. Not so neat, but legible. Okay, so this is how I am describing each of the levels in the rubric. Okay, we will see the final look of it, and I've given 1 point. So if a student is writing any assignment, they need to know what does mean that I will be assessing the assignment based on the criteria called neatness, and I'll be assigning points 5 marks if the assignment is very neat and legible. I'll give 3 points if the assignment is neat and legible, good, not very neat, and I'll be giving only 1 point if it is not so neat but it is legible. Okay, so the students know what marks I'll get for what level of performance, isn't it? So like that you can type as many levels as you can. I've chosen 3 levels here. Similarly, you can choose to add n number of criteria. First one is neatness, so similarly I can add another criterion here by clicking on the option here, that is add a criterion. So if I add a criterion, similarly I can add one more thing to that. In, for example, I can say presentation. So if I click on presentation, so I need to explain what is presentation for me. So presentation of the assignment. Okay, again I can choose to give points for the levels that I would like to set for this particular well presented, very well presented. Or you can choose any other thing that you wish to, or you can title this particular level. Likewise, you can add as many levels that you want. Okay, and you can choose to assign points for each level and give the description. Let me not get into it because it will take a lot of time. But for us, it is important to know how to add level and how to use rubrics. And I hope it is clear to all of you. So likewise, you can add as many criterion and as many levels that you wish to. Okay. So after doing all this, there is an option here on the top right corner, that is save. So you can choose to save this particular rubric. So the moment you click on save, it will be displayed here as rubric 2, which says that it has 10 points. Okay, so it has a rubric associated with this assignment, which has 2 criteria and 10 points. Okay. Now, since we are ready with the assignment, we have assigned marks for this. Okay, since the assignment is of 15 marks, we can choose to add one more criteria. Okay, we can go to edit, okay, and add one more criteria, maybe concept clarity. Okay. So that the marks that we assign for the assignment will be similar to the ones that we opted for the rubric. So I'm just choosing number of marks here. Okay, and let me save it again. So we have here rubric with 3 criteria and 15 points, because we had 15 points here. So I just went there and edited the given rubric. Okay, so now to the right, the top right corner of this screen, you can see something called saved and assigned. So whatever that you do in Google Classroom, or whatever that you do on any of the apps of Google, it will automatically get saved. Okay, so now next to that is a term called assign. So assign is a term which will, assign is an option which will help you assign it to the students at this moment. So, but next to that is an arrow option, okay, which will, when you click on that arrow option, you will see various options in the drop down menu, like assign, schedule, save draft, and discard draft. So schedule, as we have seen for the post as well, that you can choose to schedule it some other time if you do not wish to do it now. Okay, and you can also assign it at the given moment if you wish to give it to the students right now. So let me go for assign so that we can see its view. So I've clicked on assign. It will take a few moments. So now where we will see the topic that I just assigned. In order to see the topics that you assign, you need to go to the stream tab. So we need to click on the stream tab here. So you can see that the topic that I just assigned will be seen here in the stream tab, which reads Pratiksha Shirodkar posted a new assignment, that is photosynthesis. So the students can just click on this particular assignment and check in the instructions tab what is the assignment about. Okay, because here you are supposed to give an instruction which we did not give to save the time. They can also check the rubric which is created by the teacher, and they can also look at the additional information or additional video that is shared by the teacher to them. Okay, and you can also choose to make any class comment using this particular option of adding a class comment. Okay, so you can just say that if you have any queries, please feel free to ask. Okay, if you want to instruct them something, you can make use of this class comment so that all of the students will receive it. Okay, and they will see it, and they can also reply to the comment. Okay, in there using their comment section in the students view. Okay, so this is how the assignment will be visible. And say suppose if you have posted an assignment which is incomplete and you want to edit that assignment, okay, you can click on these 3 vertical dots which will help you edit the assignment. It can also delete the assignment if any other assignment is being shared by mistake. And you can also copy link and share this link with your students so that they can get an access to this particular assignment by clicking on this particular link. Okay, so this is how it will look in the instructions tab. So in the student work tab, you will see something like this, wherein it will show you to whom the assignment is assigned. Okay, and it will show in the other side of it, it will show how many students have turned in the assignment or how many students have submitted the assignment. Okay, and since we do not have any students in the classroom, none of the students are a part of our class, so you cannot see anybody here. So that's why number is 0. So if say suppose if you have 30 students in the classroom, you will see number 30 here. Okay. And number of students who have submitted the assignment will be updated as they submit the assignment to you. Okay. So now let us see. So here it is. We have seen how to share material with the students. So this was an example for how to share assignment. Okay, how to create an assignment. Likewise, there are various ways, or there are various means by which you can give different kinds of material with the students, or you can share different materials with the students. I've come back to my classwork tab, okay, for because we want to discuss other aspects as well. So we will see the quiz assignment section later. But just let us click on that and see what it is related to. So it is related to something called Google Forms. Since we'll be doing about Google Forms tomorrow. Okay, we'll discuss more about it in the in tomorrow's session. Okay, so let us not discuss about quiz assignment. So now let us see something about question. So this is one of the things that you can do. So if you have to ask any question to the students, you can choose to ask it using this question tab. Say suppose, or if you have to ask them, what is your opinion about, or maybe the current political system. Okay, now this question is not related to science. Okay, you can, depending on the subject that you teach, or if you have any question to be probed, you can make use of this particular option in Google Classroom to ask them a question. And then you can opt for any one of the responses, what kind of a response you would like to have from the students, whether you want to give them a multiple choice option or a short answer option, you can choose to do that. Okay, and then you can give instructions related to the question, like they are not supposed to take name of any organization or something which can be controversial. Of all those things, you can choose to instruct them. So likewise, you can type in various instructions if you have to. And these are the options which are similar to the ones which we discussed in the previous section, wherein we said how to add Google Drive link, file, and YouTube. Okay. Now, similar to the assignment tab, we have same thing here, but the structure, the pattern is a bit different. So you can grade the grade the question. Say suppose the question is for 5 marks, you can choose to write 5. You can also give a due date. Okay, here you can also give the time to them. Okay, then the topic, you can see to which topic it is related. Now say suppose here we have 4 units which are associated with science, and you are teaching some other topic. So you can other subject, you can also choose to create a topic there and there, like political science. Okay, question related to political science I want to ask. Okay, so I've created a topic based on that. I've created a topic basically. Hello, am I audible to everyone? Okay, because some of the participants are saying that I'm not audible. Okay, fine. So for those who are not audible, please check your network connection. Okay, so we were discussing about how to create a topic. So you can choose to create a topic. You can see that political science. I have created a topic called political science here. Okay. Due to network issues, I am not able to create a topic right now. So what I will do is I will choose the topic that I just created. So let me just put this particular question in the heavy text, that is unit 4. Okay, and then below that you will see 2 more options, like students can reply to each other options, and student can edit the answer. So if you want your students to edit the answer after they have submitted, you can just tick this. Okay, and if you want your students to reply to each other, you can choose this one, that is students can reply to each other. If you don't want them to do that, you can just untick that. Okay, so I want my students to reply to each other. So I have ticked both the options, and now I am asking that question. So in similar to the assignment section wherein we could schedule an assignment or schedule a question, similarly we can do it here. If you want to ask it in real time, I can do that right now as well. So let me click on ask. So the moment you click on that, it will be posted on the in the stream tab. So here is a pop-up message which says question is created. So in order to see that question which is just created, you need to go to the stream tab. So you can see here that the question is created already, which says Pratiksha Shirodkar posted a new question, and the question will be visible so that they can just click on the question, and which will again show these two tabs. Likewise, the way we had for our assignment, which showed instructions. In place of instructions, we have a question tab, and here is a student's answer. So similarly, you can manage this as well, the way you all did for the assignment. Okay, so now let us again go back to the classwork tab, and let us see how we can go about sharing material with the students. You can need to go to create and click on material. So in similar manner, you need to add title to the material. Say suppose if you want to give or share some material with the student related to the topic of respiration, you can just type the title name, that is respiration, and you can give them instructions like maybe if you have shared this material with them for the exam, you can see all the best students. You can choose to see this, all the best students do well. Sorry. Okay. So in addition to that, if you want to add something else like a YouTube video, you can do that. Now, say suppose if I have a PDF file which I want to attach, I can choose to go to file. Okay. The moment I click on file, I can choose a file. If it is there in my system, I can choose to go to upload and browse. So when I do that, it will take me to my system. I can choose to maybe upload any file related to, suppose I have chosen to upload a particular report. Okay, so I uploaded this report. In this place you can upload any of the document. It can be a Word file, it can be a PDF, it can be a PPT, any form of file. Okay, so you can choose to do that. And then to the right, if you can see, you can choose to which class if you wish to do you wish to send that, and you can also choose to how many of them. If you wish to send it to only few of the students, if it is related to them, you can choose the number of students. If you only wish to send, if you wish to send it to all of them, you can go for all the students option, and then you can decide from which topic is this PDF is the file related to. So this is related to respiration, that is unit 2. So I'm clicking on this particular unit, that is unit 2. Sorry, unit 2. Okay, so I'm ready with my instruction description and the file. I've attached the file. So I can choose to schedule it, post it, save it, or discard it. So let me choose to post it. So I'm posting the file on Google Classroom. So you can see the pop-up message here, that is material is created. And to check whether it is created, you need to go to the stream tab here, which says that Pratiksha Shirodkar posted a new material on respiration. So here is the message that we just typed, and the Word file which has notes for them is attached here. Okay, so we have seen how we can go about sharing material with the students. We have also seen how to share assignment. We have seen, we will see how to make use of Google Forms in order to create a quiz. Okay, this is a part of our second topic, so I'm not dealing in much details with that. Okay, and we have also seen how to post a question. We have seen how to post a material. And a very important aspect related to Google Classroom, that is reuse post, which is very important. So let's see what is this reuse post. So basically this particular post, this particular option in create option will help you to use a post which is already sent or submitted to your students in the previous post. So let us click on that. So far I think we have around 4 posts which are uploaded in the given class. So I want to reuse one of the posts which is already uploaded by me. So for that, in order to do that, I've clicked on reuse post. We need to wait for a moment for it to load. It's taking some time. It is due to the network error, I suppose. I will try once again. Okay, here it is. So the moment we click on reuse post, we will get all the classes. Since we have only one class here in our Gmail account, we can see only one class. Okay, if you have 10 or 6 classes which are working simultaneously, we'll see all the numbers of classes here in this class column, and the teachers as well you can see, and which date and what time it is created, that also you can see here. So this class was created at 2:48 p.m. today. Okay, so if I say, suppose if I want to select a class, I've selected this class. Okay, so this is our class, so it's taking some time. So these are all the posts that we just created today. So it's a post related to respiration, a question we created an assignment, and we have also created yes, we have also shared some material with the students. So see, suppose if I want to use this particular question, that is, what is your opinion about the current political system? And please note that you can make use of any of the posts in your other classes as well, in a different classes. Suppose if you want to repeat the same assignment in some other class. So, and if you have typed the instructions, if you have kept ready all the material, you can choose to reuse the post and share it with the new batch of students. That is also possible by the help of reuse post. So I choose this particular question. So I want to reuse. So I'll click on this option of here, which is given here, that is reuse. Okay. So it again brings back to me the same question, and it will ask me to whom would you like to with whom would you like to share this. So since I do not have any other class apart from the one which we just created, so I choose to ask the same question in the same class, or else you could change it in the other possible way, because if you had any other class, you could select that. Okay, so here in the stream tab we can see the same question is asked again. The first question which we asked is here, and the question that we just asked by using reuse post, you can see it here. Okay, 358 and 45. Okay, so far we have seen in create tab how to create an assignment, question, material, and how to reuse post, and how to create topics. Now, an important thing, so far we have seen what are the options that are available in stream. How does a stream tab look like? It is similar to the news feed of your Facebook. We have also seen what is classwork tab looks like, how we can create material, how we can see all the topics here, what are the ways by which we can edit and share assignments. Okay. Now the third tab is people, wherein we saw how to add teachers and how to add students. Now a final part related to this topic is grading. We need to understand how to grade students. Now they have already submitted the assignment. Now it's your time to grade them. So how we can go about grading the assignment? So in order to do that, we can click on the fourth tab, which is only available for teachers. It is only available for the teachers. So if you are a person who has joined someone's class, it will not be possible for you to see this particular tab, because it is only for the teachers. Students will have only 3 tabs, that is stream, classwork, and people, but teachers will have the fourth tab, that is grades, because they are supposed to grade the students' work. So let us see. Now when you click on grades, you can see that your class doesn't have any students. Add students in the people page. Since I have no students here, and none of the students have no students, and if the students have not submitted any assignment, you cannot see anything here. So what I'll try to do is I'll try and accept the request, or I can just try and resend an invitation to my mail again. Okay, I'll check. Will not be able to see that screen. Okay, I am trying to join the class so that I can submit the assignment. So we'll be able to see how we can work about grading. So I'm trying to join the class. Or maybe I can join. You are not able to see the screen because I have not shared the screen space. So let me just join this class. Okay, by using the class code. So where do we get the class code? Is in the stream tab. And this is the class code. So we can choose to display the class code by clicking on class code and that icon which is available there. So I'm trying to join the class. So I've already joined this class and you can see it here. We'll have to refresh this page in the people tab. So you'll see a student who has just joined, and here it is. This is my other account. So I've joined from my other account. Okay. So now since I have this, since I have joined, so you can see in the grades tab, you can see my name. Okay. And if we had more than like many students, you would see their names here. Okay. Now in grades, as a teacher, you are supposed to grade students for all the assignments that you have assigned them or given them. So I have given them 3 assignments. The first assignment was this, like what is your opinion about current political system? So if I had written the assignment, I would have, teacher would have given me marks for that. Okay. One is assignment no one has turned in. Okay. So let me just try sharing with you all the students' view. I'll try to share the students' view with you as well. Give me a moment. I'm trying to share the students' view with you all so that you can see how you can go about. Okay. Now, the view that I'm sharing with you all right now is the student's view. How you can know that it is a student's view? Because you can see only 3 tabs here. 3 tabs here. The first one is stream, classwork, and people. Okay. And this is, sorry. Let me just go ahead and do this. Give me a moment. Okay, so now I'm sharing with you all this students tab. Okay, students, like how will the students see the class that we just created? So I'm a student of this class so that I can see my, this is a teacher that is, this is my teacher. Okay, this in the stream I can see all the posts that my teacher has posted. The first one was welcome. Then the second one was an assignment on photosynthesis and what is the question and a material, and again a question which was reposted. Okay, now here you can see upcoming, wherein it is shown that the things that are due, and here you can see all the assignments which are due, and I have been assigned and I have not completed them, isn't it? So let me just go to my class. And I want to complete this particular assignment. Okay. So this is the student's view. So I've clicked on one of the assignments. Okay. So here is the assignment assigned to me by the teacher. So which is for 15 marks. It is about something, and you can see that the rubrics are, the criterion of the rubrics are mentioned here, like neatness, presentation, concept clarity, and a message by the teacher. So I want to add or create an assignment. So thinking assume that I have completed the assignment and I want to add a Word file in which I have typed in the assignment. So I'm uploading that Word file from my system. Okay, so considering that this is the Word file. Okay, so I've uploaded the Word file here, so you can see that the work has been uploaded. And the moment you upload, you can add or create as many files as you wish to add. And the moment you're ready, you can click on Turn In. And below that, you can see something called Private Comments. Here, you can ask teacher, I need clarification. As a student, I'm replying to the teacher wherein I'm saying that I need clarification on the third criterion. Sorry. On the third criterion. Okay, it is a question that I'm asking. So this will go directly to the teacher, but it is a private comment, so it will not be visible by any other students. Okay, so I'm turning in the assignment. Okay. It will ask me once again whether you really want to turn in the assignment. So I said yes. So now let me complete the other assignment as well, wherein I'm typing an answer, something like let me just choose to type. The question is, what is your opinion about the current political system? I will say it is each one's perspective. Something, whatever is the answer. I'm not wasting the time in typing the answer. So you can choose to type the answer and turn in the assignment. Okay. So here is an option of seeing classmates' answers. So you can choose to see classmates' answer. So here, since I am the only one who is a part of the class, so I cannot see the classmates' answer. There is no classmate of mine here in the class. So now let us see the teacher's view here. How is the teacher's view? So now we have come back to the teacher's view. So that how you come to know that it is a teacher's view? Because we have 4 tabs here: stream, classwork, people, and grades. So in the grades tab, you will see that only 2 of these assignments are active, because only 2 assignments I submitted. So I can choose to see the work. Okay, this is the answer that I posted for this particular question. Okay, this question was this, and the other assignment, which was related to photosynthesis, I've turned in a Word file, which is this, which I just added in the student's view. So I can choose to open that, okay, and read the assignment, and I can then give marks to the student. So let me go back to the grade, and I can give marks to the student based on the criterion. Okay, so I know that on which criterion I have graded the students. So accordingly, I would give marks to the student. So I will give maybe out of 5, 3 marks. Okay, and I can choose to return the assignment. Okay, student will be notified and check any grade if you have left. Okay, so you can return the assignment. So that they can check how much marks or how many marks they have got. So one submission written. Similar way you can go about for the other assignments as well. So I have graded this on 3 out of 5. So I want to grade this assignment as well. Okay, so let me grade it out of 15, maybe I give 13. Okay, so here is a rubric attached. So I cannot give 13 directly. So I need to choose how many marks I give out for neatness. Since there was no rubric attached for the previous one, I could give directly the marks. But since a rubric is attached here, I choose to give 3 marks, and the first one 5, and for concept clarity maybe okay 3. Okay, so altogether number of marks are 11. So I return these marks to the student. So this is how the student will receive. So let us go back to the student's view and let us see how will the student see it the moment you submit the marks. Okay, so now here the student will see this marks here in this way. See here, I have gone to the class. It's in the stream tab. I can go for that particular work. So I have submitted an assignment of photosynthesis. So I've gone to photosynthesis. So I know that for this assignment of photosynthesis, I have got 3 marks, 5 marks for presentation, and for concept clarity 3 marks. And the teacher has returned the assignment because the teacher wants me to improve on these 2 criteria, that is neatness and concept clarity. So I can choose to resubmit the assignment after working on it. So similarly, you can check your marks for the other assignment as well. So here are the marks given to me by the teacher, that is 3 out of 5. Okay, for the answer, it is each one's perspective for the question. It is already graded. You can choose to see the answer here. Okay, so this is how your students will see the marks that you give to them. Okay, in the students' view. So we have seen today various aspects related to Google Classroom. We have also tried and saw how we can go about sharing material, how we can schedule assignments, how we can grade assignments, how to use rubric. Okay, so let me just revise it once again in a minute or two. So today we have seen how to create or join a class. We have seen how to add students. We have seen how to add collaborators. That these are the teachers who might be teaching with you another the same subject that you are dealing with. We have also seen how we can create topics and segregate or organize the material in each of these topics. We have also seen how we can share material with the students, and we have also seen in sharing materials with the students, we have seen how we can assign topics, how we can give them an assignment, how we can share material, how we can go about sharing question, how we can share the material, how we can reuse the post. All these things we have seen. We have also seen how we can schedule the assignment, how we can assign a due date, how we can assign a due time. And we have also seen at the end how to grade these assignments, okay, and how we can make use of the rubric. And we have also seen how the students will see the assignment and how they can submit and how they can reassess or resubmit the assignment based on the comments that the teacher would give. Okay, so if any one of you all have any question related to the things that we saw today, please feel free to ask it in the chat box.